week's parsha is Tavo, literally when you will come, meaning when the children of Israel will enter the land of Israel. And it begins with something called Vidui Bekorim, the bringing of the first fruits. The idea is that when the Israelites entered the land of Israel and they were settled in it, that they were to bring the first fruits of the first harvest and declare that they in fact have arrived in the land that was promised to their ancestors, and that it's a land indeed that is flowing with milk and honey. It starts though with our ancestors' travails, and it continues with the kindness of heaven, the miracles, and that it's a good land. The first phrase, though, is cryptic. It's actually used in the Haggadah for Pesach, Aramaen Oved Avi. Often translated as an Aramaean attempted to destroy my father. Sometimes it says that our father was a lost Aramaean. Rashi, who is the elder of the commentaries, sees it as an Aramaean attempted to destroy my father, meaning that Lavan attempted to destroy Yaakov. And it continues with the descent into Egypt, which is a national travail as well. The problem with Aramaen Oved Avi is that the word for lost is in the present tense. Now that means, so to speak, that an Aramaean is presently destroying my father, or you could use the word Oved as an adjective, meaning my father was a lost Aramaean. The other commentaries go with the latter, or many of them, description. Rashi's is very consistent with the text. The idea of the other commentaries, the Ibn Ezra as an example, is that Yaakov and Abraham, so to speak, were lost souls, and they were either from the east, which would be Aram, or they were residing in Aram at the time. The more deeper explanation, though, is that they were lost souls. They didn't know who they were or what they were doing, so much to the extent that they considered themselves to be a member of a nation that really was not their own. Okay. The Chumash continues with the declaration. It's actually concerning, it's a second declaration concerning the tithes, that a Jew was required to set aside 10% of the land's produce, basically to give to the poor, and a second tithe was set aside for the Levium, but that was only given 4 out of 6 years. The other 2 years, the person was meant to take those that produce and eat it in Jerusalem, give himself a vacation. There was also a declaration, a confession that was made for the tithes, which concludes, I have listened to the voice of Hashem, my God. I have done everything that has been commanded of me. The idea starts conveying that for a Jew to find himself, he has to find his place in both the Torah and in Eretz Yisrael. Rabbi Nachman of Breslov once said, and it was actually a quote in the Diaspora Museum in Tel Aviv. He said that in all of my travels, wherever I'm going to Israel. The idea is that a Jew is a lost soul until he finds faith and finds Israel. The conclusion of the declaration, though, is, shall we say, more strong in some ways, in that it's calling upon HaKadosh Baruch Hu to fulfill his obligations. It says, Hashkifa ma'on kadshacha, gaze down from your holy habitation from heaven and bless your people Israel on the soil that you have given to them, like you swore to our fathers, a land flowing with milk and honey.